Furniture in your tiny house makes a huge difference in how cozy it feels and whether or not you feel like you have the space you need to actually feel like it's home. So I'm going to start out by showing you my desk. And this little guy has been a lifesaver because I don't like to have my laptop on my body. I feel like the radiation and the radio waves and everything that comes off of my phone, because I use it as a hotspot, as well as just the computer itself, I don't want that. I'm off grid for a reason. I don't like electricity and I don't want it next to my body. So it's made out of bamboo, so it's super light, and I don't think it was really expensive. This one was also sent to me. It was Song Mike that sent it to me. They're the same people that sent us the little hammock that we like so well. So on this side, there's these little holes, just the perfect size to fit over the top of a nail. So right here, I have one nail here and one nail here. And that's how it hangs. The other thing, I have a file folder here for the girls' art books, and then my computer rests here. I don't want to leave my computer on when it's here because there's no oxygen that can get back to the fan, so I turn it all the way off when I use this. These came from the secondhand store, and this one I think cost me $10 and the other one cost me $15. But I can have a little girl on each side and we can do cuddles, but when I need to move it, I have a whole bunch of storage up here. I went to Big Lots and got each of these baskets for $5. And so if I need to get in that back corner, what's really nice is that I just pull the bottom of this out. And then I can get to my baskets. So unlike a normal couch where you really can't move it, everything kind of has to be static. With that kind of furniture, it's easily movable. Let's see what else we can show you. So this is my food dehydrator. And if I'm not in the house, it needs to not be there. I don't want something above my stove. So if I'm moving around the house, I can have it there. And it dehydrates very quickly. Right now I have bananas and apples in it. Hopefully you can see that. So this shelf that I put in is just rough cut lumber, but it allows me to put baskets in between the floor joists upstairs. And it works really, I cannot believe how much stuff I can fit up there. But along the same line, I love the book Spark Joy, and also The Magic of Tidying Up. It's the KonMari method, and it's that everything you use needs to be important to you. It needs to spark joy. If it's something that you really don't like and you're just holding on to it, you shouldn't be. You should find a different alternative that you do love having around. And I've gone through so much of my crafting stuff and so much just stuff. And now it turns out that I can keep everything in these little baskets above. I wanted to show you the hammock again. So, again, this was sent to me, and the bar at the top is bamboo so that it's super light. And everybody that comes over here is amazed by the quality of the fabric. I thought that it would show up and it would be chintzy and not rugged, but it's so rugged. I think this cost $22 on Amazon. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And so what happens is that when I'm home with one of the girls or I'm here with an adult, we both sit in the chairs over there. But when we have a third person that comes home, I just have to unhook it from the wall and put it down. And we can still see each other. Like if there's somebody in the living room, they can see me just fine. But it gives you that other seat that allows you to have enough seating for everybody that's super, super comfortable. But it doesn't have to be out in the room all the time. Having just one, you can really get your swing on really nicely. And that's fantastic. But if you had more than one, I really do think that you'd have kids that were hurting each other. And we have put it far enough away from the wood-burning stove that the kids can't bump the wood-burning stove or fall onto it. But that's another thing to think about. Is there any kind of danger here for kids to run into if they get a little exuberant on this thing? So, there's that. And I just have a loop on it so that when it's not in use, it just goes up there. Is that better? Maybe? Okay, so the stairs are still a work in progress. We do have canned goods in it, but we don't use very many canned goods. So I'm trying to get those eaten up before we leave because we can't leave them in the house. They'll burst in the cold. Instead, what I've done is I got more of those baskets from Big Lots. This one has garlic in it. Let's see, what else is there? You guys already know the wood burning stove. I have all my baked good stuff here, and then we cook on the, where's my hand? On the propane attachment. Okay, so there's all my canning jars full of dry goods. And then some pretty baskets up top. And I do have more stuff, but I feel like my light still just isn't really fantastic. So there's the wood burning stove. And then, let's see. Then there's the upstairs. All my spinning wheels and everything are up there. And I have a few crafting boxes that need to be taken upstairs and put away. But that's what it's looking like right now. This is the coat rack that John made while he was here for a little bit. Let me see if I can open a curtain. Okay, so this is the coat rack, and the reason we needed it was that we had enough room for coats, but we didn't really have enough room for the girls' backpacks, and because they're in school this year, we put a second layer down here. So there's that, and when we put that in, it felt kind of weird that we had that there, but not one straight up above. And so that's why I put this one in. I think it makes things look a little messy, but it means, wow, I think it makes it look a little bit messy, but it is a place to hang things when they need to be hung. And so for the interest of having the rest of the house feel tidy, at least at this point, I'm willing to have this kind of not so graceful looking coat rack area. Because it seems like the things that go on this hook are things that kind of move in and out of our lives. Like there's girls' Halloween costumes, there's a towel that needed to be hung up, there's bathrobes, and so it just, again, it's just a space, even though it's not real pretty at this point, it does make it more functional. I find that the more stuff I put on the walls, the less furniture I have to have. We just got rid of our bookshelf because I saw that we had certain books that we read all the time and certain books that I wanted to read, but because I had so many books out still that we weren't really finding the ones that we wanted to focus on. And so we put 3 Apple boxes worth of books up in storage, and we have 1. Okay, so this is my box that has girls' school, girls reading books, and then whatever it is that I want to be studying, which, let's see, which book. I have some real favorites. This, for one, is just fun to look at because of all the pretty pictures by John Seymour, the self-sufficient gardener. And so everything that we actually use on a daily basis is in this box, which is fantastic. I even have the girls' coloring pencils. I have the dictionary, I have readers, so everything is here, which is super nice. I did want to show you. Okay, so this is the corner where the rock mass heater is supposed to go, and then the bench will move out that way and then back, and then have the chimney go out the back wall. So that's what we're planning on at this point. We could have it go back out the window where the other stove is right now. So there's the other stove that's piped out. That's piped out the window. I think what's going to happen is that now that Darwin has the stove finished, what'll probably happen is that he'll come out and he'll think he's putting it in one way, and then he'll end up putting it in a different way. So we're going to get all the materials put together. He's again sourcing from the Army surplus store. The only thing we really have to buy is the elbows. I already have the plywood for the bench. I got that from Essential Mountain Homestead. Make sure to go check out Josh. They're having adventures as well. Hopefully we'll have it in on Saturday, but we're not going to actually put the videos up until he has some plans put together on how to build it, so that you guys can get those if you want those plans. So I'm super excited. Hopefully you like the rundown of the house. You can see it's silly, but the baskets are really kind of my favorite part. It's really silly, but to be able to fit all your earthly belongings in that many little baskets, I think is kind of a big deal. I think they're fantastic, and I think it's super fun. And I love that my whole house is decorated with things that people have made for me. Okay, so there's the tiny house tour for now. One of these days I will go through the whole house and show it to you all at once, but hopefully that will be once I have things more finished. Like you're seeing plaster on the wall instead of paint. I want to get the upstairs loft finished where we have all of our storage stuff to show you, and I would like to get a window in. We'll see if John will let me do that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.